Yoo-hoo. Yeah.
Alright.
Episode 9.
Started with the yawn. I just woke up. Just haven't been awake long.
Okay. So, how are things? Trapper just woke up.
Yes.
Brian...
Tired.
Yes.
Aaron... Tired.
Tired.
Yes. I feel like I'm very quiet. I look very quiet. What was that loud?
That was me.
Yeah, that'd have been Brian. That'd have been Brian.
Okay.
Whatever episode we're on. Woo!
I believe the number is 9.
Shut up.
I think it's 10.
No.
14.
Oh, no, you're right. It's 9.
Yeah, it's 9.
I need to move this closer to Aaron.
Oh, no.
Alright.
Microphone mobile.
Okay. So, I figured we'd ask Brian what we asked ourselves last time. And, how would you like to die, Brian?
Food.
Brian's gonna die of obesity. I wanna have all the sausage, and then I wanna be the world's fattest man. Then I can die.
No, I want to be healthy, and then, like, probably something random will happen, like cancer or something unrelated to food. But because I like food and I like to be in control, I'm gonna make sure it's food that causes it. Just eat until my stomach bursts.
That sounds like a good plan.
Sounds tough.
It'll probably fail, and I'll be miserable for a day.
Yeah, it seems like the kind of thing you'd have to have a few runs at before you get it right.
Oh, I'll keep trying.
That's the kind of death
just
you gotta
eat
work
foods
for.
with a lot of sharp edges.
No.
I would imagine that would help kill you.
Well, I mean, also that would help with, like, the eventual puncture and hopeful explosion of the stomach lining.
Yeah.
So just eat, like, 4 thumbtacks that are, like, in sausage so that they can dissolve slowly.
Yeah, but that's not food.
No, but it'll help. You're still gonna have to put a fuck ton of food in there for them to make significant tears.
Yeah, but that's not the food, though, that does it.
If you do that, you're definitely going to want to eat as much as you can so you do kill yourself, so you don't have to suffer them coming out.
The thing is that you'll have this mass fucking purger before you get to that point where your stomach and shit's gonna reject the food probably. So if you have something in there, some foreign something in there, like eat something sharp that's shaped like a hot dog, I don't fucking know. Something in there that the food can put pressure on to rupture the gut. That's your best chance.
Alright. Well, I like that.
Always thinking.
Alright. So, first real topic of the day. Fox is bringing back X-Files.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
I wasn't really the world's biggest fan of the X-Files the first time around. I mean, nothing wrong with it or anything. I liked some of it. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of it.
See, I liked
But I gotta believe that if they're bringing it back now, they got a decent story lined up. I hope.
Hopefully, yeah.
Because I don't think Fox is really hurting for money.
No.
So I would imagine that if they're bringing it back, I would want for it to be like a labor of love, and then be like, dude, we fucking thought of something that's badass. Let's make it happen.
I am not a fan of their main storyline.
Yeah.
But I love their standalone episodes, like the episode where Mulder and Scully both tell their like versions of this like vampire story of like how they both experienced it. That's one of the best episodes that they have.
I think I vaguely recall that.
Mulder ends up killing some kid that like turns out possibly might not be a vampire.
Yeah.
He like fucking pounds a stake through his chest.
There's sirens. Hope y'all like sirens, because we're in Portland. You're gonna get that.
Yeah, there's crime around here.
He's gonna have the same actors?
Yeah. David Duchovny, and I can't remember Scully's real name.
Gillian Anderson.
Yeah, I believe they're both coming back.
And Mitch Pileggi.
Which one is he?
Skinner.
Oh, nice.
And the Smoking Man.
Wait, the Smoking Man's still alive?
Apparently.
I always liked the Smoking Man. I liked his story.
Yeah.
He killed Kennedy.
I don't see why not. I don't see how it can really be terrible.
You want to hand me that ashtray?
You wanna hand me that ashtray?
I just don't. I want to know. I want more information. I want to know, like, is it a reboot? Is it a fucking, like, a continuation? Or, you know, what? What are they doing with it, really?
I don't know.
And
maybe it's gonna pick up after that last shitty movie. Maybe they'll forget that last shitty movie happened.
that last movie was crap.
That's why I called it that last shitty movie.
Like, I bought that movie and...
The sound you're hearing now is a paper shredder.
Paper shredder.
Yes.
That movie was crap.
Paper shredder.
I didn't see it.
No, paper shredder.
They were trying to find, like, a serial killer or something like that.
I don't remember.
And
I remember it was crap, and then I blocked it out.
and then there was, like...
Made space for new things.
Like a psychic that was like a molester.
That all sounds pretty...
And they were like, oh, you're a terrible person, but we need you. And, yeah, I don't know.
Funny how that tends to happen.
It's fucking crap.
You got Hannibal Lecter. You're a terrible person, but we need you.
I guess the
Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
the main thing is gonna be who the writers are. That's the important part.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
I don't either. I could look it up right now, but we're gonna have some clicking.
Who cares?
Not me. Do. Y'all want
People that listen to podcasts love clicking.
Do they?
Yeah, they love it. Oh, yeah. Mouse clicks, keyboard.
Oh, how about all that
stuff.
clicking? How about all that clicking going on right there? Yeah. Oh, it's clicking.
Okay, they're calling it a revival.
Because it's
Southern Baptist style. Creator. It's just got creator.
Well, that's the guy who created it originally, so does that mean he's... what? Do you think that means he's involved in any way?
we're assholes.
Yeah, well, he's got it covered. Did you know former director-producer Rob Bowman will return to direct the series?
Okay.
Okay.
What'd you do, Rob? I was a producer, and now I got a director's chair. Hurrah!
Looks like a douchebag.
X-Files, Reign of Fire. Huh.
Wait, Reign of Fire?
Reign of Fire.
That dragon movie? He made that dragon movie?
We don't know what he did on that dragon movie. Give it time. He's done nothing big that I'm seeing.
Except the X-Files.
Yeah.
What did he do on that dragon movie?
I don't know.
Because if
Let's
he
figure
wrote
it
it...
out. Let's see. It came out in 2002. Did he have anything to do with the director? Yeah, he directed it.
Oh, man.
So that...
The dragon movie was so bad.
I liked it.
It was...
It was
6.2. Okay. Well, so we'll just wait and see.
I liked it. Had good acting in it.
On a positive note,
Christian Bale, Matthew McConaughey, and Gerard Butler.
Yeah, you liked it.
Jerry Butler.
I'd probably like it too.
It was entertaining, but it was
Dragons.
crap.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was an interesting way to try to bring dragons into a modern era.
Yeah, but they could have done it way better.
The graphics were nice. Of a mind to think that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about here.
My mind thinks.
We know that's a lie.
Eh,
Your mind thinks Okay, so...
Alright. So...
Alright, so...
I figured we could talk about a little bit about the trailers that have come out
Lead the way.
recently. So, Batman vs. Superman trailer. I really liked it. It made me excited to see that movie. Well, a lot more excited than I was. Just that that little scene where fucking Superman pulls the doors off of the fucking Batmobile and Batman just stands up.
Yeah.
Like, that's badass.
Well, I think the most pertinent part of the trailer was the scene where the laser vision's ripping through the building and you see Bruce Wayne's inspiration for why he's like, this motherfucker has to be stopped.
Yeah.
That was good. I liked that because that helps to set up the movie as something viable, something I want to watch.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm looking forward to it just because I liked the last Superman movie.
Yeah, I liked it.
And I don't know, Ben Affleck has become a good actor over the years. So I think he could do a good job.
I saw a really cool little like side-by-side comparison. The lasers going through the building are Zod, General Zod. And yeah, it's him, and he's like blasting, and it's
makes sense because
they did a really good job of like
mapping the trajectory of the lasers.
Yeah. Anything you have to say about it, Ron?
Looks good.
Yeah.
It's very insightful, Brian. I'm glad you're here.
Thanks.
I really want to know who sent.
I like the one that's in blue and red. He could fly. I wish I could fly.
No, I like Batman.
Who the fuck doesn't like Batman?
I just
Except people that don't like bats. Do you think that fear of bats keeps people from liking Batman?
Batman.
I don't know.
Do you think Batman has some self-hatred?
Mm-hmm. He has a bit of a problem with bats.
Yeah.
He's just scared of them. I never wanted to become a superhero. I put on this costume to keep the little fuckers from biting me.
Yes, I just have way too much money and people expect me to do things.
I don't know if there is a comic series that covers that, but there should be a comic series that covers that. It's all been a delusion. He's been in a ward for like most of his life. He's got like a fucking blanket tied around his neck and a bandana with sporks sticking up out of it or something. He's running around like, I'll save all of you. And people are like, he's fucking crazy, man. If that hasn't been a comic series, that should be.
That should really be a comic series.
And then like there's a lack of funding at the institution, and so he's just let loose upon the world.
He's like not morbidly obese, but he's not in good shape because he's always strapped down to a bed. So he's like running to save the day, and he stops and he gets his breath back, and he's running to save the day, but he starts to limp a little bit because his knee's kind of hurting him.
Make like the Joker like the head of the ward.
Yeah. He's throwing battle rings at people, but they're them rubber bats that hang from strings from ceilings. So it just like smacks them with a little satisfying splat.
But the trailer, it just makes it look like everything it's supposed to be. I just think it's going to be what we all expect it's going to be.
Yeah.
There's not much to say, really.
Fuck, that's a great idea. I wish I was into drawing comic books. Fuck.
Well, that could be a...
The Joker could literally be a clown that's in like a cell next to his or something.
Yeah?
No.
Everybody in there could be that.
No, the
Right,
Joker's just a normal guy who's a little bit jaded.
The Joker should be like the warden.
Yeah, or just one of the people that works there. Some dude named Randy who's always like, I got a coin behind your ear.
We need to make this happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man! All right. Back to the trailer. What I want to know who sends Batman that newspaper with written on it, "You let your family die."
Yeah.
Like
somebody knows something about.
Yeah.
him now being the Batman and be like, why didn't you have that capability then? I don't know.
Like, well, I don't think that it has anything to do with him being a child and, like, his parents getting killed. I think it has to do with, like, one of those buildings was a Wayne...
Yeah, it shows that when he's down fucking holding the little girl, it's got the Wayne Industries or whatever, Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah, but then why didn't it say you let your family die again?
Yeah.
Well...
With Brian on that.
And the Joker is the same Joker, like, in this timeline, he has already killed the second Robin.
Yeah.
And so I'm guessing it's like a reference to that.
How many Robins were there? 4?
All I know of... I know
Grayson became Nightwing. Second one died. Third one was his son, I believe, and the fourth one was a chick.
I have not seen anything about the fourth one, but it wouldn't surprise me. Doesn't Batman end up killing his son?
I don't remember.
Somebody ends up killing his son.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. He's a little shithead, but I don't recall that ever happening. But
I just heard that. I don't know.
I watched the Batman versus Robin animated movie.
Wait, Batman versus Robin animated movie? Like, wait, Under the Red Hood?
No.
Just Batman versus Robin?
Yeah.
Haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
Not surprised. It was pretty good.
I can imagine. Most of those movies are really good. I don't think I've seen a single, like, animated Batman movie that wasn't good. Fucking Mask of the Phantasm came out when I was, like, a little kid, and that was badass.
I have it on my computer, but I'm yet to watch it.
You haven't seen it yet?
No.
Oh, it's good.
Is it good, or was it good when you were a kid?
Okay. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but it was good when I was a kid. Yeah?
You gonna burp or something?
Just don't. I can't trust you.
What do you mean you can't trust me?
Because
have you watched any of the movies that we suggested to you?
No.
Shame, Brian.
Yeah, but
Shame.
He saw Tusk.
Well,
Tusk was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I'm talking about classics from the 90s.
I know, but what was that movie that you watched that you thought was awesome but isn't when you were a kid?
Oh, Legend?
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie?
No.
So you have no idea what I've even...
Yeah, but your own, revisal of it declared it as crappy.
Yeah. It still had really good practical effects.
That's the de-evolution of the podcast right there. It's going to be like that. For like an hour and a half. And...
Yeah. Okay. Anybody see the trailer for Suicide Squad?
Yep.
It was a very fucking boring trailer.
Did you see the trailer for Suicide Squad, Brian?
Nope.
I'm inclined to agree with you. I thought it was a pretty
really
boring trailer.
fucking boring.
It didn't make me want to see the movie.
Yeah, no. Not at all.
The Joker was like the most interesting part of the trailer.
Yeah.
And still wasn't all that great.
Didn't he like tone it down or something?
He toned... It seems like he's toned down the, like, theatrics of the Joker a bit. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. I liked the way he delivered the line at the very end of the movie, or the end of the trailer.
Sure, he's got an alright Joker voice.
Yeah. And I liked that laugh. Like, the laugh was... It had that just disturbing, like, oh, if I heard that in a dark alleyway.
Yeah, I forgot to watch the trailer. I guess that less theatrical is good if he's more like I don't know, crafty and intelligent.
We have the power to have you watch the trailer now.
No, it's alright.
Alright, dude.
Oh. But yeah, the Joker was the most interesting thing about the trailer, and I
like to see more from Killer Croc.
Yeah, exactly. All you see is him kind of like
he blinks.
Yeah, and you get to see him like in fucking Hannibal Lecter fucking mask thing.
I don't know. I hope they utilize it pretty well. We'll just have to wait for trailer number 2 and trailer number 3 before we can actually grab any kind of ambition for the movie.
What else?
Well, what'd you guys think of the Ash vs. Evil Dead trailer?
That could be funny.
I think it'll be entertaining.
Right.
I'm really looking forward to watching that.
I remember very little of it, and we just watched it. So I don't think that's just because I'm tired, but I also think it's partly because I'm not too interested. But I'm hopeful. It's on what? Stars?
Yeah.
Do they do anything else that's good?
I can't. I don't know. I don't have cable.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know. I'll remain hopeful, but
wait, no, that was Showtime. Never mind. Showtime and HBO do like all the best shows.
Indeed.
On those types of channels.
Indeed.
I don't know anything about stars.
I know that they're large burning balls of gas that we may be seeing light that was emitted from them billions of years ago.
That was a lot of helpful information, Trevor. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it made it look fun, but I want to know how they're going to make it into an ongoing series, because it's going to be an ongoing series.
Yeah. We shall see.
Yeah. I liked the gore. I mean, well,
it wouldn't be right without it.
Yeah, exactly.
That last Evil Dead movie had like the fucking bloodiest goddamn scene in cinema, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I still haven't
raining
finished
blood
it.
from the sky.
That's right. That's rad.
I still haven't seen the whole movie.
And I kept hearing people at Wild Work being like, I'm chucked when they should have played Raining Blood when it was Raining Blood. I'm gonna hit every single fucking one of you that says that. Grab a guitar and play it yourself.
Yeah.
Just doing that.
Just
imagining.
This movie should have like a blood waterfall or something.
A blood waterfall?
Yeah.
What a waterfall. I wonder how much trouble I'd get in if I went to that fountain downtown and tossed a bunch of red food down in the food colour.
I don't think you could get in too much trouble because people do things like that all the time.
Well, I know they get arrested for throwing soap in there.
Well, if they get caught.
Yeah. You can just run by with a box of detergent. Hook!
It's just detergent with like red food coloring.
You just gotta go down there in the middle of the night and just pour
There's bloody foamy shit. I can only hope that like some fucking, some Amish or something are in town and they completely see it as like a sign of the end days or some shit and go back to wherever the fucking Amish live and hunker down and bunker up for the oncoming apocalypse.
somewhere near Ohio.
Whatever.
In that area. Well,
It's too bad they actually break away, like, go on their Rumspringa or whatever, where they're allowed to go out in the world and check shit out. Because if that wasn't something that they do, I would go over there gladly with all the technology I can muster and just blow their fucking minds.
that sounds like that would be a fun field trip.
Absolutely.
For the podcast. Just go.
We started recording out here in Amish country. Turns out there's nowhere to plug shit in to charge things, so it's a short one today.
We bring batteries.
No, we wouldn't.
Well, car
Why
chargers.
wouldn't
Charge everything off the
we?
car.
Yeah, we'd have a car. Some sort of car.
Well, if we drain the car, alternator can't keep up. We're using too much power. Battery dies. Then we're stuck in Amish country. You know how to build a barn?
You just
We
need
can-
enough gas. That's
You steal a horse. Get to
True.
the next town.
True.
Bring a gas tank.
Grand theft buggy.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. A trailer for something or another.
Yeah.
Then the Amish happened.
Yeah.
Trailer, fountain, then the Amish happened. You want to get us back on point, Aaron?
I'll try. Alright.
What if we put like green and black food coloring in the fountain and dressed up like Ninja Turtles?
And rose up out of it?
Yeah.
Like coming up out of the ooze?
Yeah.
That'd be a pretty fun thing to do.
That would be fun. Alright.
Wait, what if we... I'm just kidding, go ahead.
Alright. For our
Tour.
kind of serious topic that we'll probably make a lot of
For-
jokes about.
Hour, okay.
A
Yeah.
4-hour topic.
Yeah. As in time.
Human suffering viewed through the eyes of Americans. And what I'm kind of trying to get at about this is basically the only reason I bring it up as Americans is because we're American. We don't know how
America.
really it's viewed in
Globally.
other but it seems like humans
Uh-huh.
that there are people dying, starving, and just atrocities all over the place, all over the world, and nobody really ever seems to do anything until it's shoved into their face.
Well, it's because what the fuck can you actually do?
Well, yeah, but that's another point where what can you really do except for
Complain?
throw money at it to try and make yourself feel better, like you have done something.
Like they're your kids or something?
Like Santa on TV said that you could subscribe to one child?
Like
Yeah,
Santa and Jesus and
for the
everyone
price
else?
of a cup of coffee.
Yeah. You could send little Billy Tim Click to fucking school.
Yeah.
You're terrible.
What, dude? Those commercials bug the shit out of me.
Yeah, they're terrible.
He's like, hold on. You know this is how it's going there too, because he's looking around. He's like, let me find the dirtiest little fucking detective friend. You come here. What's your name? Well, that's a great name. Come here, fucking. Sit down. Don't move. All right, look at the camera. Look at the fucking camera. I'll give you a cookie. Thank you. For the price of a cup of coffee. You know that's how it fucking goes.
Yeah, and then they take half of the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are smaller organizations that you can look up and donate to, and I guess that's part of the...
Yeah, but it always comes back to that one for me. Like, that's what I think about.
Mm-hmm.
Is that scum fucking his crew harassing these children and be like, come here, you little shit.
Yeah.
That's speculation, but you're probably right.
Yeah,
Well, nobody that's listening to this needs to know that that's speculation. Everything that comes out of Trapper's mouth is
hopefully somebody
God's
listening to
honest
this.
truth.
Hopefully somebody that's listening to this can confirm that it's not speculation.
I think that
That'd be nice.
anything any of us say on the podcast is just speculation. It's social deprivation podcast. The only thing that we know we learned through the computer screen, and who knows if that's even real.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can hold nothing against us.
Just commenting on the pretty images we see on our screen.
Yeah.
Right now we see wavelength. And when I say, ooh, it goes from skinny to fat to skinny again.
Yeah, and I see a lot less pauses in between the little blips than when me or Aaron is talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because I tend to ramble on. Anyway, Aaron.
Why do you think it is that we tend to just be so complacent about other people's suffering?
It's because we have food. Then we have warmth. And we have clothes. And we have cars and shit.
And we have jobs.
That's what it is.
We're distracted. We're purposely distracted.
It's not even, I mean, for some of us, sure, the distraction keeps us from getting into it. But I'm going to assume that for most of people, whether they want to admit it or not, it's because they don't actually give a fuck because they have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see that.
There's that. And then, there's those of us that have time to think about it and no money to do anything about it.
That's right. I've said time and time again that if I ever won the lottery or something, one of my first major places to go would be that place Fish down on Hawthorne. And I'd give them a sizable donation because of all the food that I've gotten from them over the years. Give back something.
Yeah.
Instead of consuming loaf after loaf of bread.
I guess we're just so far removed from these issues that we don't have the ability to really understand what suffering is to someone else. Our suffering is not suffering, it's just things that human beings inevitably have to deal with, like hunger or but very few Americans, just percentage-wise, actually have to deal with homelessness and stuff like that. And even then, they're probably in a better place than
somebody you could find in the plains of Africa or something.
Yeah,
like
than these third world countries, and
It seems like when America really starts to give a shit about anything going on globally,
we bomb something.
There has to be some sort of major, massive death toll for us to give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, look at World War II. The whole country was involved in World War II in one way or another. Everybody was striving to become, to be victorious in World War II.
Yeah.
Whether it was people, boots on the ground overseas, or whether it was people working factories here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that got women into the fucking workforce, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that was a big, step forward for America.
Mm-hmm.
And it took the deaths of millions of Jews to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It seems like for most of Americans to really, really give a shit, there has got to be a lot of fucking blood involved.
Yeah.
Or they have to be told to give a shit.
Yeah.
A lot of how we feel has to do with our peers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So long as you're exposed to, the right peers. I might not personally have given too much of a fuck about what was going on with Crimea and that whole region.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing a couple people that are from that region helped me to give more of a shit. To hear them talking about their families. And, my sister's going through this over there right now and whatnot. It kind of, it brings it to my reality.
Mm-hmm. Remind me what happened in Crimea?
Invasion. And possibly not invasion with the reports I've seen recently. Russia, basically, we're taking that.
I remember now. That completely fell off my radar. See, that's another point I want to bring up, is how we hear about things, and then we can completely forget about them in a couple of days or so.
Yeah.
Because that's the way that's the way media just shoved at us.
I blame that a lot on media because we have so much shit being thrown our way for consumption.
Yeah. I remember when that was first starting, that was a huge story that was everywhere. Yeah. Everybody was talking about it. And you bringing that up just now is the first time I've heard about it in months.
Yeah.
Probably since last year.
Quick other question for you. In Syria, a chemical was used on people.
Oh, yeah.
What was the chemical?
I can't remember the name of the chemical, but I do remember the videos I saw of that, and it was just...
It was white phosphorus.
Terrible. Okay, yeah.
That's another thing. We got involved in that.
Yeah.
Because, when you see an image of a child who's had fucking white phosphorus on him, you can't really put it down.
Yeah.
You can't look away from it.
Those videos were,
that shit's gnarly.
Just, it was really sad. just seeing like a room full of fucking people laying on the floor. Some of them no motion whatsoever, and then like others just like twitching and like just like oh
the
my
shit
god,
sticks to your skin like napalm, and then just chemical burns you as a dry compound. It's fucking crazy. But that kind of sums up what I was saying earlier, because that's two instances.
Yeah.
That we both remember, even though you may have forgotten, it came back to you with very little provocation.
Yeah.
But they both have to do with some sort of oppression or oppressive violence. Mm-hmm. It's hardship. We need the right kind of hardship for us to actually give a fuck in America.
Yeah. It's really sad. Well, I feel like it's really sad that, you know, we need to see, you know, we need to see the dead bodies. We need to see the horror of what's going on to actually care about what's going on. Like, you can read a headline that says thousands dead, blah blah blah, and it's just
type on page.
Yeah, it's just another day. Like, oh, yeah, that happened in that, you know, place over there.
And and there's a bunch of terrible things happening in a lot of places somewhere else, and there's always terrible things happening, and there's no ready solution, and you just, you know.
Yeah. I remember hearing something a while back about, it was in Africa, this like leader, I think it was in the Congo or somewhere near the Congo.
The Democratic Republic of Congo.
He was basically going into villages, and like he had, you know, a small army, and they would go into villages, kill a bunch of people, and like take the children and train them as child soldiers.
Yeah, child soldiers in Africa is not a...
Well, yeah, no, I know it's not a new thing. It's not, but like this guy has been, he's like really successful in what he's been doing, and I remember that popping up in the news, like for a couple of days, like people were mentioning it, but nobody, you know, it was just like, oh, this terrible thing's happening, you know, and then there was no, nobody had anything to say about it that was like, you know, somebody should really do something about this, like...
Well, what the fuck could actually be done? What I mean, lay me out your game plan here. Well, what would you do to stop him?
I can't think of any kind of solution that wouldn't end in somebody else coming into power in his place, or just wiping out the entire like civilization that he's creating.
Yeah.
And that makes things really hard, you know.
I'm with you on that. I don't see a good situation. I don't see a good way to handle it. Because if you take him out of power, you have the potential rise of somebody else, you know, to take the reins of these kids who he's turned into soldiers.
Yeah.
You also have the very, very real possibility that these kids, without direction, could be a greater hazard with the damage that's been done to them mentally and the training they've received physically, to where they could become like a huge fucking problem for just their local, you know, region.
Yeah, exactly. They just, you know,
suddenly
take what
hop
they've learned
planes
and they're like,
invade Europe, but
we'll just like I want this. Well, me and, you know, a bunch of my friends will just go over to this village and, you know, kill and take whatever we want. And it's crazy to me that things like this are still going on in this day and age. You know, like...
Yeah, I think that there's just a large responsibility that we are not accounting for as people who live in a society with such technological advancements in a country that fucks over everyone else for their own level of comfort. And yet, you know, as an everyday citizen, you're not really to blame for these things. I mean, because basically if you don't have a cell phone you're not a contributing member of society. You can't. You need modern things like this to find a job or do things that you're expected to do. But and everything is quantified with money.
Mm-hmm.
Happiness doesn't. There's no happiness coefficient when you take an economics class or something. Even though that obviously is the most important thing in your life. How many miserable CEOs do you think there are, and what's the point? Like, we just need a change in our mentality, and we need to take responsibility for. I mean, these places in Africa or anywhere in the world where they have guns, they have technology.
Oh yeah, especially if we're going to tout ourselves as being world police.
Yeah.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is before those things were introduced to them, they were living off the land or whatever it may be in a lot of these countries. America or the West is usually to blame for not. I just feel like when a society then is introduced to these things, then then there's no way out of it. They're stuck in the same kind of world where it's about economics and everything else, and they can't they can't turn back at that point.
Mm-hmm.
They're just screwed. I'm not trying to suggest that like all of Africa is just not modern and not civilized, because obviously it is, but I'm just saying for a country to become a modern country or a group of people that become modernized, then it's something that I don't know. I just think it needs to change. A part of our culture needs to change where we start giving a shit rather than like just land of the free, pursue your own goals to no end America. Like quantify things differently in your mind and like
become the land of leadership.
Give a shit. Well, I just mean we have a responsibility because we have technology has made us connected, through the internet to everywhere in the world. We're not a civilization anymore where we're less innocent because we're not just sitting in front of the TV watching what is being broadcast. We have choices now, and we have.
We can go and find whatever information we really want.
Yeah.
Almost,
So.
I am not a hippie. I don't. None of us are hippies, but.
And I'm not even talking from a political standpoint.
Well,
Liberal, or whatever you associate with. The problem is just is a national American mindset, or not, maybe not even American, but a modern mindset. The way that we quantify things and the way that we become distanced from our fellow man.
Well, I feel like we have almost a responsibility to try and help areas of the world that are like much less developed than we are, and I'm not saying like we should go in there and like take control and start telling them like what they need to do and things like that.
Yeah, history has shown that hasn't worked.
Yeah, no.
Well.
Nope.
I'm saying that like I'm not a fan of the kind of capitalism that we run on.
Nope, because that's a situation where one man's ambitions and success tends to fuck everyone else over.
Exactly. Like there are some aspects of communism, or not communism, capitalism.
Yes, my red brother, what do you have to say?
There's some parts of capitalism that I agree with and I'm on board with, but there are others that it just like you see it and it's wrong.
Yeah.
Like there like there are people in Africa that they need these there are fucking mosquito nets that they can acquire for like $4, and it would keep them safe from malaria. Wow. Like, it would still be a possibility that they would get it,
would
but
help to lessen the chances of them getting malaria.
But they have no fucking way of purchasing a $4 net.
Well, there you go. We need large bombing runs where we drop nets.
Like, we can fucking provide that. It wouldn't hurt anybody. Nobody's fucking bottom line would, like, nobody would notice that. And we could do that, but we don't. Nobody does it. Nobody cares because it's not on their radar. It's just they don't see it as being their problem. Like, I don't know.
There's no fucking Xbox achievement for doing that.
Exactly.
Achievement unlocked. Halted malaria.
Yeah.
But, it's just... Like, I feel like our society kind of breeds this calloused nature toward the impoverished, other aspects of society. Like,
I would say that you're touching on something correct there. Like, over the years, I've become more cold with a lot of the local homeless population.
Yeah, me too.
And looking at the, that level of poverty here will make you give less of a shit about that level of poverty elsewhere.
Yeah.
Even though circumstances do not seem to be the same.
Well,
like, that level of poverty in Africa seems to be like, there's not enough some of the time.
Yeah.
Here it's like, I got heroin. That seems to breed a lot of that level of poverty.
Mm.
Yeah, it's tragic. It's hard to tell. It's hard to discern, really, like, who among them is, like, wants to help themselves and who doesn't.
Yeah.
Some of it's tragic and some of it really serves you right, kind of.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
But you still wish you could help them, but you can't.
Well, yeah,
Can't help somebody that can't help themselves. They'll just fuck it up.
Exactly.
So it's really easy to see as a money pit, but I don't know that money's the answer, really. I think it's important to still brainstorm on it.
Mm. Yeah.
Bug nets, that's something.
I just think it needs to become more of our culture to give a shit, I guess. That's the bottom line.
Mm.
We need to inflict technology on poorer countries.
I love the wording there.
Like, if we just go,
just run in and hit an entire village with Wi-Fi.
Begin the iPhone assault. iPhone launchers.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me.
Gets a little one. He's scurrying behind a rock. Dunk. Ah!
I saw a news, segment or whatever, a while back, and it was these reporters. They went into like the factories in China that are building iPhones.
Yeah.
And like they were interviewing employees and stuff. And the employees were like awestruck and like just like, oh my god, you have an iPhone. Like they're sitting there day after day, putting screens in iPhones and like putting these little pieces together, but none of them have a fucking phone.
Well, China's economy is damn strange right now. Like, the average cost for renting a decent apartment is like a person's fucking full year living wage.
That's just terrible.
Yeah, for a month. And a lot of their power consumption is still based on coal. So,
Yeah.
what we need is people to put a lot of money toward making that stop. Like, get China off fucking coal. Go over there and, you could build power plants out of desalinization plants, from what I'm aware. Which are plants that take salt out of water and make fresh water.
Okay.
I believe there's a way that you can dual purpose that. Just set those up places. Set those up along coastal regions. You can take care of your sewer management, your fucking power needs, and your fresh water in like one fucking facility. People just gotta pony up the cash for it.
Yeah.
And getting people in America to break away from money, like rich people in America to break away from money, is so fucking hard, it seems. So few and far between have I heard of people like Bill Gates, being like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take half my cash and dedicate it to making the world better.
Yeah.
Instead, he'll be like, well, I'm
really
making a $200,000 contribution to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
$200,000 is not a small chunk of change, but you got a lot more fucking money than that, dude.
Yeah. And
You don't need the kind of money you have to live the rest of your life comfortably.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you do hear about like a really rich person, just saying they're doing something important, saying they're, doing something for charity. But Bill Gates, he's really the only person that
he's put up a lot of fucking money for charitable
really,
things.
Like you don't see him, talking about it in a way where it's like, look at me, look at the good things I'm doing.
Yeah, I've never seen that from him.
Yeah, no, it's
I've always heard other people, newscasters and shit, be like, well, look what he did.
Yeah, and and he's actually making a difference, and like he should be the fucking icon for what this country should be doing.
The social services ambassador.
Yep.
Like,
and he started door to door. He started from the bottom.
Don't look at me like that.
He referenced Drake on one of the last podcasts.
What?
Started at the bottom, now we're here.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yep.
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 Yep. Fuck you, Drake.
Yep.
But yeah.
I'm a dragon.
No, you're not.
You're right.
You're an imposterist cousin of the dragon.
Did you guys know he was on Degrassi?
I have heard this. I have not seen that.
He played. I've never seen it, but I've seen pictures and stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's him. He played a little kid that got shot and paralyzed, and he was in a wheelchair on Degrassi. The Canada.
I don't know
Degrassi.
that I could properly articulate how little of a shit I give.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous that, he raps about like, oh yeah, I was like, I'm gangsta and
yes,
fucking,
I've heard his his
bullshit.
rapping
And
about
like,
working
dude,
late at a store stocking shit and whatnot. You don't. We don't know how poor that is in Canada.
oh man.
I'm stocking a maple syrup every day, but I can't afford it.
Okay.
What's next?
Next, I figured.
Probably get like free maple syrup in Canada anyway.
Yeah.
That's what you get. Instead of leaving a blood
Yeah.
blood donation with the cookie, they just give you like a pint of maple syrup.
Everyone's allowed to just.
Thanks for the plasma. Hey, here's your maple syrup and a voucher for some poutine.
Yeah. Everyone just has a maple tree anyway.
Yeah.
I
People
figured
on ice skates, hate sketching on horses for fucking Mounties as they go down the street.
I figured that we could touch on this topic, just since everybody's talking about it. I've definitely heard some retarded conversations about it at the bar. And
You heard some
That's your-
retarded conversations at the bar?
That's also his source of everybody talking about it. It's like everybody at the bar the other night was talking about this, so it's probably pertinent to our conversations that we're having right now.
Once a week, I make an effort to not be so socially deprived, so that I may.
Jim stubbed his toe when he fell in the street. Now everybody's been talking about this, and I think that we need to address the situation right now. What can we do to stop future toe stubbings?
Bob and Betty's wedding is this Sunday.
okay,
At
okay.
the
First small town
at
radio.
the First
announcers.
Presbyterian
Yep.
at 6 o'clock.
This is truly going to be the event of the summer.
Bessie the cow's gonna be there.
There's going to be watermelon
Prize-winning
carving.
cow.
All right.
There's going to be pig yodeling. I don't even know what that is. And free yogurt for everybody.
Organic.
I've seen this all over the place.
Farm to table. What?
Seen it on Facebook. Brian made a comment about it earlier today, and that is the Confederate flag.
What about it?
What about it?
Look at that right there, buddy. He got it on his shirt.
Yes, Brian is wearing a shirt with the Confederate flag.
You take Brian outside, throw him over the railing, and make that song "What Goes with the General Lee."
And okay, so do you guys know anything about, the controversy of the Confederate flag at the moment?
I know that Phil Anselmo is now trying to act like he gives a shit. And that's why I'm wearing a Pantera shirt with a Confederate flag on it, because Phil's an asshole, and I hope no one forgets that.
Wait a minute. Phil Anselmo's making, what is Phil Anselmo saying?
Oh,
What's he doing?
He's stuttering a lot and acting like he regrets that they've used the symbol in the past, and that he was crazy back then, and blah 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 blah. Pantera's a great band, but Phil, you are an ass.
Yeah, Phil's a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's an amazing singer, but he's a fucking douchebag. Other than Phil Anselmo, I don't know exactly what it is, but this is what I've heard. Ever since the shooting, the mass shooting in the church with that crazy guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know about that?
Mm-hmm.
Trapper? You look like you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Which one?
Well, it's the same issue that we always have. There's a shooting, and everyone wants to blame it on something that's irrelevant.
Well, yeah.
So that's about right. So they're saying that he was led by the Stars and Bars to fucking.
Well,
what's it called? The Jolly Roger? Or is that the pirate?
Jolly
one? That's the pirate one. What the fuck do they call that?
Okay.
I don't know. I've never paid attention to it because the South's not gonna rise again, so it wasn't really relevant.
As far as I'm concerned, the only flag that they flew that ever fucking mattered was the white one.
Yep.
Well,
the problem is that.
That was very well said, Aaron. I think that many Civil War historians would be like, "Hey, wait, he's Mexican? Fuck!" Probably pissed about the Alamo too. Shit.
But yeah, this guy was a fucking terrible racist. He went in, he fucking shot up a church full of black people.
Where was this?
I don't know.
The
I can't
South.
remember. Yeah, somewhere
in
southern.
the South.
Yeah.
It's not so much that he was a terrible person, it's that he was brainwashed to become a terrible person.
Yeah,
Okay,
he was raised by people who were also raised by people who were raised by people who thought terrible fucking things that they were taught to think.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's the same problem it always was, I think, is that, he fell in with the wrong crowd. His parents weren't fucking paying attention, so everyone's gonna blame it on video games and a fucking flag.
Yeah.
What
games is that?
A meaningless fucking flag.
I don't think they're blaming. All I've heard, I heard some stuff about it, recently after it happened. This happened a couple weeks ago, I think.
Okay.
But basically, everybody's like, oh, he was mentally ill, or, all this stuff, and it's like, okay, he was a terrible racist.
He had no outlet for his anger.
He
I kind of thought of them like going into his Netflix profile and it's like Chris Rock. He's like, I hate his voice. I hate his fucking voice. Like fuels his racist rampage.
So, yeah, this happened. He killed a bunch of people, and people are just they're doing something that they do a lot when it comes to racism type. God damn it!
They're trying to sneeze the hate away.
Yes,
good.
Well, I've noticed them. They do this a lot when it comes to things like this. When it has to do with
what do they do?
White people.
What do they do?
They're blaming it on like mental illness and like things like that, rather than pointing out the real issue, which is, like, this is terrorism. This is homeland fucking terrorism.
Yeah, that's been pointed out plenty of times. The KKK, on occasion after occasion after occasion, has been called the largest terrorist organization in America.
Yeah, but like, you never hear that on the news. Like, not once have I heard from anybody that this guy's a terrorist, like racist, fucking like racist organizations like the Ku Klux Klan or the Aryan Nation or any of that. Like, nobody brings them up like they do when. Do you remember when? This guy who was Muslim, he genuinely had some sort of like mental break, and he went to his. I can't remember if he was still employed there or he recently got fired, but he went back there to this like factory, and he cut like his boss's head off with a machete.
No.
And like all over the news, even though it was like. Even after it was like established that he had no ties to any terrorist organization, everybody just kept saying that he was a part of ISIS and like things like that.
Yeah.
And it's just ridiculous that is allowed to happen, and things like this are just like,
I think he
was mentally ill.
Well,
let's
start playing that card against people who do that. Like next time some white dude goes into a mall and starts shooting people, be like, it's Jesus, it's Christianity, he did this because of the coming of God.
Exactly.
Start fucking throwing it back.
Exactly. I don't understand why the Confederate flag is even why it's even an issue. I don't understand why people associate it so much with racism and negativity. I mean, maybe it's just because of the type of people.
It's a cool looking flag. I'll give it that. I like the simplicity. It's a cool looking thing.
It's aesthetically.
As far as a flag goes, a
lot of
symmetrical.
One thing that's also been really bugging me is a lot of people. This idea or this truth has basically been kind of circling the internet recently, and that's not the Confederate flag. That flag was only used 3 times, and it was Tennessee's war flag.
Okay, so what's the Confederate flag?
The Confederate flag is a blue square with the circle of stars, and then 3 red and white bars going across, like the American flag, but just huge red and white bars. And that is the stars and bars.
So the flag that we've come to know as the Confederate flag is Tennessee's war flag.
Yeah. And it was only established like very, very soon before they got, like the Confederacy got fucking destroyed.
And they just, clatched onto that flag because it's a cool looking flag.
Yeah.
Right.
But, like...
It happens. Like the fucking swastika, you turn it the other way and it's like a Buddhist symbol for infinity or some shit.
It's a Buddhist symbol for love or something like that. But like, yeah. And, like, but that's been around for hundreds of years before it, got turned into the Nazi thing.
The Buddhist symbol?
Yeah.
I suppose you could say hundreds.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm just pulling a number out of my ass.
No, it's well known that
Quite
it's...
a long
Yeah,
time.
like, yeah.
But I don't know, hundreds, saying hundreds just kind of seems to play it down.
I just think
Okay,
that...
well then thousands.
I just think that...
Well, I don't know about all
it is meaningless until you give it meaning.
Yeah,
If I ever end up being a part of some sort of organization that is viewed as a terrorist organization, I will do the same thing. I will take a flag or a big piece of cloth that's yellow and make a smiley face on it and corrupt the smiley face for all time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's my opinion, the right thing to do about that is to just then, put the... Don't let them fucking corrupt the smiley face. That's what I'm saying.
Put up your own fucking smiley face.
Yeah.
All right.
Assimilate the smiley face. Be like,
So
in the same way that we didn't let the Crusades corrupt the cross.
Yeah.
So think about that and what's printed on your money before you start giving meaning to a stupid flag that is so insignificant. Although I will say I'm glad that it's not being flown. Was it Georgia? It's not a part of the government. Symbols.
That's the next thing I wanted to bring up about.
Yeah, give it back to the people.
How do you feel about that? It being like, I agree that it shouldn't be flown on government buildings.
Yeah, because
Like,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. Because I made this argument to somebody before when they brought that up to me, and they were like, "Oh, they shouldn't be doing this." I was like, "Well, is it okay for a government building to fly another country's flag?" And they were like, "Of course not." No. And I'm like, then why is it okay for them to fly the flag that supposedly represents a
Secession.
part of America trying to leave America?
Yeah, because
it doesn't make any sense.
That's what it is. It's the battle flag, and the battle was decisive amongst things that weren't good.
Yeah, and like I don't see why you can wear the Confederate the fucking whatever, I can't remember the actual name for it, but you can wear the fucking Confederate flag. You can fly it at your fucking house, whatever. That's your choice, but we shouldn't have it on government buildings.
Yeah, because
there's a house right over there that has a pirate flag in the window, and every time I go past that place in the car, I'm very afraid that we're going to get raided.
Yeah, I know, right? Pirates everywhere.
To me, the only logical things that it could mean is like, I'm wearing that I'm butthurt that we lost hundreds of years ago on my forehead, or haha, you lost, I'm gonna fly your flag. But all this association with racism and slavery and everything, I think is a little bit misplaced. But that isn't so important because it does have the meaning that people give it. And so if there are so many people that are that offended by it, then the thing to think about is, do you want to offend all these people? I mean,
yeah. Do you want to be associated with the ideas that symbol gives people? I feel like that's the thing that people should really be thinking about it when they decide to wear it or to fly it, is that you are automatically being associated with all the thoughts and ideas that come along with that symbol,
right?
In other people's minds.
And that's why I say I'm glad it's not on a government building, because if there are enough people that feel that negatively about it, it's not a symbol that represents the community. And as meaningless as I think it is, that's not fair.
Yeah.
So, good for that, But as an individual in America, of course, you should be allowed to wear whatever symbol you want.
Yeah.
But, it comes with consequence. And, yeah.
All right. I think that's enough said about the Confederate flag.
Yeah, we shouldn't talk more about this than we did about the real fucking issues we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, no. All right, so I'd like to say something about what is his name? Something Iwata?
Nintendo.
Yeah, the Nintendo's
Nintendo Iwata.
president.
Iwata-san. Yep.
Yeah, Iwata-san.
Passed
he
away.
Passed away 2 or 3 days ago.
Bile duct cancer.
Yeah. And yeah, it's sad. From my understanding, he was a really good guy, and I feel bad for Nintendo.
Nintendo's a great company. I mean,
Yeah.
And they're responsible for bringing console gaming to the populace in large numbers. They paved the way for that as a industry.
Yeah.
And
somebody was talking about how sad they were that his last, public appearance was him making a video to apologize for Nintendo's failings at E3.
Mm-hmm. And that is kind of sad that is the last thing that he publicly did.
Yes and no. The last thing he publicly did is died, and that's going to generate some sympathies towards Nintendo.
Good point. But...
Or at least I feel that it likely will.
Well, yeah.
Have people be like, oh no, a fucking pioneer in gaming has died. Let's pay some homage to him by buying Super Smash Bros.
Yeah. One thing that I think is hilarious is that, like a janitor or somebody recently found this rare Nintendo PlayStation. Because they were in contract or something like that for a while, where they were where the PlayStation was gonna be, Sony had some hardware. It was gonna be like a Nintendo thing, and I think one side fucked over the other side, and
there's more involved than just that.
Right, I know, but I can't remember anything. So there's some shit
awesome
that may or may not be even close to that, but along those lines. And
how long ago?
But anyway, so
Oh, dude, fucking mid-90s.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was the original PlayStation was originally going to have
Nintendo
carts and be made by Nintendo, but Sony had tech or something.
Well,
especially with the sound card or something like that.
Yes and no. Okay, Nintendo was trying to parody Sega. Sega wanted to get Sony on board to help them create a console that was CD-based.
Mm-hmm.
Something financially went wrong. Sony ended up dropping out of the project, but they still had all of Sega's, basic designs. That was their jumping off point for making the PlayStation. Sega went with Panasonic, which took the other big, disc drive maker away, which left Nintendo kind of in the cold. The Panasonic made the fucking Sega CD, and that was a terrible fucking failure.
Yeah.
And kind of started the death of Sega.
I don't think I've ever even seen one of those.
But I've never seen a hybrid console. I've heard about a hybrid console for early CD usage from Nintendo, but I've never personally seen it.
Yeah, look it up. The controller is basically a Super Nintendo controller that says PlayStation on it. It's wild, man. It's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's like probably the only one in existence, and the president of Nintendo just died. What I've been thinking about is how valuable is that fucking thing? Like, that needs to be in a museum. Hopefully, it goes where it needs to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it has a game.
Yeah.
No, I think it does. Could
you imagine going to a museum and being able to pick up that controller,
play Yoshi's Island CD?
Yeah.
But it's a cart though. That's the point. But yeah, no, I think there's like a demo cartridge, but there's no AC adapter. So we're all like, no, don't don't just plug anything in there. Don't fuck it up, you know.
Yeah.
Don't even touch it. Just get it into the right hands. Because that's super cool.
Nintendo makes some quality stuff.
Yep.
I just wish it was a little bit more adult oriented sometimes. Well, not everything, but they had more adult oriented stuff.
Are you kidding me? Elderly people all over the nation have played Wii Fitness.
Yeah. Stupid.
No, that's cool. I mean, Nintendo found their own market.
Yeah, they did.
And actually, I've been realizing more and more lately that the DS has a lot of great
the DS
titles.
is really
Their
cool.
handheld
Yeah.
stuff that they're doing is really cool.
I gotta give them that. Their console stuff they're doing is a fucking fall back in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
well,
they're,
for people like us, we see it that way, but it's a more affordable, family-oriented type of thing where they've made a market where Xbox and PlayStation already exist and reign supreme. Let alone the PC gaming becoming more and more popular, which is the obvious choice for the enthusiast is going to be PC, and it honestly isn't that much more expensive to buy a game, to build or buy a gaming PC than a new console when it comes out. So
Yeah. I could build a decent gaming PC for $400.
you could build a gaming PC for $400.
I could build a gaming PC that'll play most of what's on the market at least medium
At medium.
for $400.
Yeah, but so that's in line with like a console, and so.
But also, I mean, that's also knowing what the fuck I'm doing. That's not going to Best Buy and being like, I got $400. What can I get? And they'll be like a fax machine. There you go.
Right. So there's always going to be a
You can
market.
game on this.
There's always just the same way that we know that PC is better. There's always going to be a market for people who want to just put a game in and play and it works.
Yeah.
The same way there's always going to be a market for
Even if you got to blow on the cartridge.
you have a family and young children and you want a console that's not too expensive that everyone can enjoy and that's more appropriate.
Yeah.
And so Nintendo's really made that market. They've got hands down, the best handheld market. I mean, there's Android and everything else, but I don't know that.
I don't like to count that.
I don't either, but it
I mean,
is what it is.
Once you allow the inclusion of emulation on phones, it's a whole nother.
No, I just mean the Android and iPhone games in general.
Okay.
Cell phone games.
Like cut the rope.
No, I mean
Angry Birds.
there's some pretty decent stuff.
I would like to play the Metal Gear 3 on fucking DS or 3DS.
I've been looking for that in stores. I know I should just go online and buy it. My girlfriend gave me a 3DS.
I had a Vita. I intend to have a Vita once more, but I was disappointed with how underutilized it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sony's, usual thing, impressive tech, but
No support.
they forgot that it was a console and that the most important thing is to have games on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that and when they released it, they didn't even give anybody a dev kit.
Yeah,
They're like, oh, here's the tools to develop for it. They just didn't fucking do it.
dumb.
Yeah. I was really
Focusing-
looking forward to the future of that when everybody was talking about it, all the stuff that they were saying it can do and
Fucking
all that.
PS2 emulation.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
nobody fucking did anything with it, really.
Well, and that's what happens. You don't make an impressive piece of hardware for the sake of making an impressive piece of hardware. You make it
to be
so that it's
used.
accessible to consumers and developers, and
Yeah.
that is not what they did with the Vita. It's not what they did with the PS3. And it's just who cares if Sony makes the best console? I have a computer. I don't give a shit. Is it cheap and is it accessible and does it work? Are people want it? Are there games for it?
Yeah.
Or their game for it. That's the biggest fucking thing. Am I gonna have fun playing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why the Wii is still around.
Yeah.
It's
Does
because
it? Uh-huh.
people can get moderately intoxicated and swing their fucking arms at the TV and have a good time.
Yeah, and does it offer anything over PC or any other console? Which the Wii does, obviously.
Mhm.
But the Vita, not so much. Who cares?
I like how we're talking
It's better
about
than
the
the Game
Wii
Boy.
and not the Wii U.
Well,
because the Wii U is a failure.
yeah, that's why we're not talking about it.
Yeah, but
Like, it had one game I wanted to try, that zombie game. But I don't want to hold a small TV in my hand to play a fucking game on my TV.
Yeah.
Yep. And also, it was they made the opposite mistake, and the hardware was shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was a try. It was them attempting to step into HD gaming.
Yeah, but
they just couldn't figure out how to do it affordably. You know, I don't mean to rag on Sony so much. I mean, they at least did it and didn't do it affordably for themselves.
yeah.
I don't know.
How much you make off each console sale? Nothing.
Negative 300 for the first 3 years or something.
Yeah.
We make debt.
You gotta commend that a little bit, I guess. But not necessarily respected because the hardware in the PS3 is retarded.
Indeed. Especially with that fucking first gen. I remember Pete, he had the first gen with all the USB ports and the flap on the front and shit, and it could play PS2 games. Because I had the PS2 chipset. They released an update, and it killed them all.
Yeah.
So, like, he had to go buy another PS3 and shit, because it just no longer worked.
Yeah, I remember that. He was, like, afraid to update that one.
Yeah. I think that every time mine updates, I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. Every time, I'm just waiting for it to just be like, no, I'm sorry, Dad. Nah.
Yeah, it'd be extra money, but consoles need a dual bias.
A dual bias?
Just like computer
Yep,
motherboards have. If you brick it, all you gotta do is send it to them, and they flash it onto the other bias.
Flash.
I don't think it would be that much more expensive. It's something that should be inclusive.
How many times did I have to have you unbrick my fucking PSP?
Yeah, but it never fully
No.
bricked.
But I bricked the shit out of that thing time and time again, just tearing apart firmware.
And that's what happens when you're playing with firmware.
But I made it do cool shit.
Yeah, you did.
Alright. New topic.
Yep.
Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah. I just watched the first episode from season 1 today.
You've only seen the first episode?
I think it's
you
rad.
watched some of it?
I like the concept.
I haven't even finished the first episode.
Oh, damn it.
I started watching it at practice last week while I was waiting for everybody to show up, and then everybody showed up. I thought I had more time.
Yeah.
I usually leave at like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm there by like 6:15, 6:20. And then I gotta wait until like 6:45 before Brian and Sky show up. So I thought I had some time to make it through the first episode.
I gotta get going.
You gotta head.
It's 4. I gotta leave.
Where you off to?
I'm off to Justin's. Yep. Got plans.
Alright.
Good talk. Cover some good stuff.
Yeah.
You got more topics? Or you just want to wrap it up here?
Well,
I think that's it. You haven't seen it. I only seen the first episode.
yeah.
It's a rad concept.
It's a really fucking funny
So,
show. You
yeah.
guys need to watch it.
We'll come back to it next time, maybe.
Yeah.
After we've had a chance to go through it.
Jingle us?
Jingle us. Sing the Rick and Morty theme song.
Oh, I don't remember it.
Fucking failure, Aaron. Brian, you got a jingle?
No.
You don't got a jingle?
No. It's not too late.
Come on. Come on, Brian.
Doodaloo-doo?
Doritos are nice.